Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. We are going to talk about the Aftershock Comics bankruptcy just a little bit. Less about the technical details of it, and more kind of like what does it mean. And I got a couple tabs open here. We're going to look at those. And if you don't remember this, it happened about a month ago. They filed for bankruptcy in California, and they were like, "Yo, we're worth like 10 million bucks, and we owe like 10 million bucks." Pretty reasonable. What reminded me of this is I went and I picked up my copy of Chicken Devils #2 from the store. Don't believe me? Boom. There it is. See, I got skin in the game. I got the book right here, man. I own a few Aftershock books. I don't know, there's maybe like 20 floppies or something I own from them, including Chicken Devil, first miniseries, which was really good. You should go check it out. You might be able to get it on Amazon or something. I don't know. You should go look at this. You should figure this out. It's a great book. If you like Hotline Miami, it's like that. If you like Can't Kill Kate, which is like Hotline Miami, it's like that. If you like the actual Hotline Miami comic book, Wildlife, it's like that. It's great. Masked people killing people. What more can you possibly want? Anyway, back over here. Here's how much money they owe. You can see this is from popverse.com. This dude, I'm not even trying to pronounce his name. He's produced a bunch of articles about this bankruptcy. And there's some interesting reading in it. And frankly, I was kind of like zeroed in here on the amount of money they owe. Original loan, 11 million bucks. Then they got more money, 2.4 million bucks. All told, they owe $13.5 million on the principal. They also owe a bunch of money on interest. And apparently they were also missing some of their interest payments. So that money is just out there compounding and compounding and compounding and going higher and higher and higher. And that's not a good situation to be in. No wonder they filed for bankruptcy. It turns out that the loaner, is that the right word? The people who provided the loan, Access Road Capital, wanted to take over the company. They demanded either full payment of the loan or they're calling in the collateral, and the collateral is the company. Some of the IPs that Aftershock publishes might be worth a little bit of money. Like, this is all a power play for television, Netflix, movie rights stuff. Like, that's fundamentally what this is going to come down to, because that's where all the value is going to be. Let's look back over here to comic book. You think selling this comic book for $5, you move 20,000 units, make 100 grand? Oh wait, no, that's the gross before you start cutting out all the middlemen. So you're making like $20,000 off of this book, and then you got to pay a lot of that up to the artist, the writer, to the colorist, person who printed the book. There's no money. There absolutely is no money here. It's all in selling those rights for the TV show, the development rights to the property. And there's probably a good chunk of cash to be made there. Who owns Aftershock? This was interesting. Yes, yeah, I highlighted Donnie Cates. I didn't realize that, but I guess that explains it, because didn't he publish a book or two through them a couple years ago? Wasn't like that book about like the aliens with the monoliths? Wasn't that a Donnie Cates book? I don't remember for sure, but I think so. Anyway, also John Kramer and Lee Kramer, and I took this out of a PDF from the filing, and I blanked out all the addresses, and I wasn't sure if one of these was somebody's actual name or what. So I went ahead and blanked that out. I don't want to dox anybody, even though these are business addresses and they're totally cool because it's a legal court filing. Like, this is not actually doxing. Don't want to take any risks. People are touchy about that. You can see they owe their printer a bunch of money right here, 400 grand. Like, did they ever pay their printer? Because you can probably print $400,000 or 400,000 comic books for 400 grand. Like, that is a lot of cash. This is like a media marketing firm. I looked them up. I didn't look up Transcontinental because, come on, this is below 100 grand. I stopped caring. But the first one, AS Comics Limited, I looked that up. It's a British company. I'm going to guess it actually is responsible for selling Aftershock comics in Britain, and it's owned by one of the Kramers. This is like the people where the money is owed. So these are people who they owe money to, but they don't have a loan agreement with. So this is all on top of that $13 million, $14 million, whatever, Plus, once you start counting the compounding interest because they miss payments, probably $15–16 million that they owe the big creditor. No wonder they filed for Chapter 11. Plus, there's all the creators that have not received payments. They owe money to them. Kind of a sucky situation. Ultimately, though, it looks like the point of this whole thing is so that the company can keep operating. They can stave off a takeover by the capital firm, the people who provided them money, and can keep publishing books. So I'm pretty hopeful that we're going to get more Chicken Devils. And if you have a book you like there, like, Where Starships Go to Die or whatever, great. More power to you. You might just be able to keep getting it. But the whole situation stinks. I don't know why they took out such a big loan. It really doesn't make sense to me because they don't own printing facilities. They just take something someone made, get someone else to put it on paper, and they have that person ship it to a distributor. And at no point is Aftershock actually handling any of this stuff. Blows my mind. I don't know what you need $13 million for, but that's what they're in hock for. That much cash. And I don't see how they get out of that amount of debt. If you're running a company, here's a bit of advice for you. It's okay to take on debt for big capital expenditures, like we're building a building. What's less okay when you take on debt to finance your ongoing operations. If your operations are not paying for themselves, you need to figure it out. And honestly, I don't see how anybody in the comic book industry, any company, is making any money. I really don't. There is no cash to be made in that retail market. The margins are paper thin, like the paper it's printed on. And there's just, how do you run a company when you're making like $1 a book and you sell less than 20,000 units per book? Even if you got 10 books, that ain't that much money. Nobody can eat on that. But hey, people keep trying. I keep trying to talk about the stuff I love. And I hope that what I just investigated today means I'm going to keep getting my Chicken Devils. Because I really like that first miniseries and I'm really hopeful that I'm going to like this issue. There we go. I'll try to get your comic book review soon. But I wanted to talk about this a little bit because Bankruptcy stuff is crazy, yo. Bye-bye.